Let's go. What's good? What's good, people? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another episode of Unk and Phew Hoops Edition, basketball edition, man. And you know, as we're gonna be kind of y'all companion throughout the, let's say, the first 30 minutes or 40 minutes of this Mavs versus T Wolves game. Right now, it's the score is 15-10. Mavs are leading. And we're gonna play it a little bit different today. And instead of giving y'all a pregame show, we're just gonna talk about what we're gonna be looking for in game 3 and what our thoughts about other series in general. And since we're basically at the game right now, let's talk about this guy right here, man. How you doing, Hefe? How you doing, bro?
I'm
How's
doing, I'm
everything
doing not
going for
bad.
you, man?
You know, a little tired today, but excited for this game because I need them. I need my boys, the Mavs, not the Mavs, the Wolves to win. So
I
excited.
feel you, man. I feel you.
Nervous.
I need the Wolves to win too, so we can
Yeah,
have an entertaining series, man. Because it's been actually it has. I'll be fair. It has been entertaining,
hmm
but clearly one team is beating the other, and
yeah.
it's because of this guy, man. And we got to talk about this guy, the game winner, the dude with the game winner himself, Luka Doncic, man. How do you
Yeah.
feel about Luka and the Mavs and how they're doing so far, my guy?
Man, like all playoffs, they've been playing really well, hitting stride at the best
Hmm
time they can right now, especially in the conference finals. But I don't know. I don't want to say too much about to blow him up, but just because he is beating my Wolves. But no, you can't deny how good he's been playing. But one thing I have noticed is like he's playing trying to get fouls, right? Trying to foul. It looks like he's
Oh
trying to foul
yeah,
people
yeah.
out. So that part's a little annoying because he goes and argues with the refs and stuff like that. But I guess that's this NBA that we watching now. But that's the only bad thing I got to say about Luca. He's just playing phenomenal. So.
I will say this, man. When we look at Luca, Luca's right now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's 25 years old. So we're just gonna look this up. If I'm not mistaken, yes, correct. He's 25 years old. And as great as he's been playing in the league so far, and I respect him and everything like that, I'm not 100% sold on him, especially because he's had deep playoff runs. I'm gonna give him that. Got
Mhm.
to the Western Conference Finals a few times, but he's never been super, super clutch. So that's why it was so amazing what he did last game,
Mhm.
where in the last minutes of the game, he had that fire game winner on Rudy Gobert. And I was like, God damn, Rudy Gobert is getting cooked by these Eastern Europeans, man. We had
Yeah,
Luca in the first round. Now we have, I mean, sorry, we had Jokic in the first
Jokic.
round. Now we have Luca. Like, dude is getting cooked by
Yep,
multiple people in clutch moments, man, in big time games. Look at
big
this,
time.
man.
Yeah.
What did you think of last game, man, versus the T Wolves?
It was
Luca's impact and that game winner.
what they
Mm.
were up by what 18 or 15, something like that. The Wolves.
Yes,
So
T Wolves were up.
I was like, okay, we got this. We got game two, no problem. And the next
Yeah.
thing I know, I was like, what just happened? Like, it was so annoying. Like Gobert gets me. I don't know. It's just something about it. Like he has, not to knock him or anything, but he has to probably be one of the worst defensive players of the year. He's just getting
Thank
cooked.
you.
Like you said, his footwork is when you look at him
No,
like that last play, his footwork was atrocious. Like, but
very
at the
bad.
same time, he is a 7 footer, so we got to keep that in mind. They're not known to be super agile, right? So, and you're covering Luca, which
Yeah.
the guy has some moves. So I don't know. I was just frustrated with the whole thing.
What did you do? So okay, so here's my question, man. You have a guy like Rudy Gobert, right? Who's won Defensive Player of the Year four times. Four times. And we've watched him almost every playoffs, especially these playoffs, get
Mhm.
cooked. Like not even a little bit cooked, not even a little bit fries. We're not talking about, nah, man, we're talking about deep fried. We're talking about outtakes. We're talking about, what I mean? Cineplex days. We're talking about
100%.
really, really
Yeah.
cooked, man.
Yeah.
How does he compare to like some of the older defensive players? Like we're talking about Dennis Rodman's, or Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace. My bad. Like,
Ben
what do you
Wallace.
think
Yeah.
about them compared to this new generation or this guy?
Well, I think they take more in consideration about the whole team aspect, right? Like where you
Yeah.
place. Like so, the Wolves were what, first place for seed,
Mm,
and they were doing really well as a team defensively. And I guess Gobert had the most like blocks or anything like that. I haven't really looked into him too deep to be honest with you, but like when you take a
yeah.
look at, like you said, Ben Wallace was a beast. Like these guys altered your shots. These guys made you play a different way. As where
Yeah.
Gobert doesn't. He doesn't seem to alter anything. He lets them do what they want, and he's looking bad for it too. Like this man was a beast. Ben Wallace was a beast.
Monster, yo.
Hmm.
Yo. And he would impact the full game.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Rudy Gobert, I'm gonna be real with you, he just influences the defense. He influences the post,
Hmm.
but even with that, he was getting destroyed in the post by Jokic.
Yeah,
Remember last round?
yeah, 100%. Like you mentioned, Dennis Rodman, right? Dennis Rodman was a
Yeah.
mastermind game, right? So these guys altered
Mhm.
their 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 targets, I guess you can say, altered the way they played instead of just trying to adapt to something. So like Gobert just seems like he's there doing the motions and he's trying. Granted, he's trying, but he's just I don't know. He can't keep up with them. So it's a bad matchup, and so far every team has exposed it.
I think, we gotta give a major shout out to this guy. I'm gonna show you this guy, and I believe that he has been the difference, you know what I mean? With um especially with Luca's mentality. We
Hmm.
got to give credit to this guy, Jason Kidd. He's able to handle these two superstars, Luca and Kyrie, get
Kyrie.
them to buy in, and he's putting up a coaching masterclass. And
Hmm.
I'm like really impressed by him and how he's gotten, Luca to buy in because this is
Yeah,
the best playoff performances I've seen from Luca specifically, man. And I'm like, damn, respect to the coach, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, and that's the funny thing because like other players are like, oh, coaches are trash. You got to switch the coach, but this goes to prove that it's not always the coach's fault, right? He was able,
Yes.
like you said, he was able to control Luca and Kyrie's ego because we all know Kyrie had a little bit of an ego,
Yeah,
um, right? But like he's able to mix and match and get them both to understand where they want to be as a team. So yeah, it's for sure this guy's done an amazing job with them.
By the way, quick shout out to our boy Sleepy Euphoria coming in to, chat us up and have some fun with it. You just said, yup, Gobert's trash defensively, and he's an airhead Michelin man. Hey, brother, I'm not disagreeing at all. To get cooked like this and have Doncic scream in your face like that,
Yeah, that
getting
was
punked, it's like, whoa,
yeah,
like, damn. You know what I
that
mean?
was bad. But like that's the funny part. Like if that was anybody else, would they have gotten teed up for that? Like for the
Oh,
taunting,
absolutely,
right?
yes.
So, but I don't know.
Yes. Imagine Draymond did that. You know how quick the tech would come? If Draymond did that,
He'd be sitting out for a couple of games, 100%.
oh my God,
Yeah.
suspension, man.
Hmm.
But you know what? We as much as we have to praise our guy Luca. I'm not even a huge Luca fan, but he's impressed me.
Hmm.
One dude that has not impressed me is this guy, man. And I'm sad to say it. I hate to say it, but we gotta talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. He's been averaging lower than
Hefe, let
expected.
me know your thoughts. Man, let me know your thoughts about our golden child, man. Uh,
Well, I don't know. I said it from the beginning. Experience. Maybe it's just too overwhelming for him right now, but that's not an excuse. As a superstar, he should be putting up numbers, but it looks like Towns is playing better. Towns is putting up better
Yes,
numbers, right? But
yep,
um,
yep,
so I don't know. Hopefully, he puts up a good amount of points tonight, but we'll see. I had some guys talking that he was going to score 30 last game, and I was like, he's not.
yeah.
Like, as much as I want him to, but I don't think he was. I think he's going to put maybe up 20. Um, I think he ended up scoring 15 last game, 15 or 16.
I'll check right
Yeah,
now, but regardless, he
it
has
wasn't
not
enough.
played to his potential.
No.
Let me look again. I'm gonna check the box score right
Hmm.
here. The dude put up oh sorry, my bad, taking me some time here. He put up 21 points.
21
He put
points.
up
Okay.
21 points and he was out there for 40 minutes.
Hmm.
That's
Which wasn't.
that's
It's
not
not a
gonna
bad average, but like as a
no,
superstar, he should be putting up at least 30 in playoffs, right?
absolutely.
But was
And
he guarding Kyrie? Is he too tired, not realizing, how much of a work it is to guard Kyrie? It's Mr. Energizer Bunny, so you never know. But I don't want to use that as an excuse because I know some people will be like, "Oh, you wouldn't give that excuse to LeBron," but it is what it is.
mm, this is the dude who's actually been playing really, really
Really
good.
well, yeah,
Nas Reed last game gave him 23 points off the bench. And, you know, there's even another player who's actually been playing really, really well. And that's he
yeah,
didn't play well last game, but Jaden McDaniels.
Daniels, yeah,
He's been playing very, very consistent. And for the Timberwolves to come back in this series, because now I looked at the odds, they're in the minus right now. So they're expecting the odds are saying that the Mavs win tonight
yeah.
because they're playing in Dallas
In
tonight.
Dallas, yeah, and
Right?
that's a hard game to try to sneak
Yeah.
one out. So
They're
yeah,
the favorites right now. Mavs are up by 3 points. T Wolves are up by two, but I mean down. They're down. But this is something that's interesting about the T Wolves that we've noticed or we've seen. They're pretty good on the road, fam.
yeah, that's true. That's
They're
true.
very
Maybe
good on the
they're
road.
they're what was it going into the Nugget series? Like, who would have thought they
Yes,
would have taken those two first games? Like that was insane.
it
But
was crazy, fam. It was absolutely nuts. But let me tell you what's even more nuts, man. You know what I mean? What's more nuts is this guy. We've been challenging this guy a lot throughout this series. Well, not this series, the show. When we talk ball, we've been challenging this dude, man.
yeah,
You've been on his ass. You've been on his tail, brother.
hmm,
And how do you feel right now of you know, Jason Tatum actually balling out and being impressive? He put up like 36 last game.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
around that.
mean?
Yeah. What is he? He's
And
he's leading scorer for the team, I think. No.
yes, he was. Yes, he was. I'm gonna pull up the stats right here. But when we look at a guy like Jason Tatum, who we have questions about, and especially you had criticism for
Hmm.
him. I understand. He put up 36 points, 10 boards, 8 assists, 2 blocks. So he was out there on defense as well. One steal. He was all over the stat board. And you could see it in that game versus the Pacers. Dude was hooping, man. How do you feel about the title of the Boston Celtics have to win it all? That's what I came up with, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's their chip to lose. What do you think about that, man?
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. Like they have all the tools, right? They've been here before.
Yeah.
They know what it takes. It's just, yeah, this guy has to show up, and I have been super critical of him in the because he hasn't shown up. But this year he's not that he's like there every game leading scorer, but some games somebody's hot, then you let him play. But he's still putting up numbers. So
Yes, sir.
everybody's like, "Oh, Jalen Brown should be number one." I'm like, I don't know if he's there yet, but I'm still gonna go with Tatum over that. But he's at least he's
Mm,
there. He's there, and he's playing well, and he's putting up numbers this year. So it's really good to see because he was one of my guys when he got a rookie when he came in as a rookie. So I was like,
yeah.
I'm excited to see this new generation coming out. So I don't know with him Edwards, it looks like it's gonna be in good hands, but we'll see because all these guys are super young and they're
Yes.
balling out
Yeah.
like crazy. So. it's nice to see.
It was actually interesting because one of the things that we wanted to chat upon, or things that we were going to talk about, was the fact that is Luca the best player 25 and under?
Hmm.
Now you got Shea in that list. You got obviously Jason Tatum in that list. You have Anthony Edwards on that list. You have I believe John Morant. He's like 20, 22 himself.
Hmm.
You have a ton of younger players in the league who are coming for that crown, who are coming for that top.
Hmm.
And if Tatum is able to pull it off this year, man, do you think he gets number one on that list, or what are your thoughts, brother?
It's more of a debate for sure.
Mm,
You're looking at, you got to look at the team as well, who he has playing with him, what his support system is. But yeah, if
yeah,
the Boston's able to win this year, then for sure he shoots up there really quick. But I don't know. For me, it's like I said, he was my guy early on.
yeah,
Disappointed me, and I just like Ant's mentality is right now. He has me sold on that, but even though he
yeah.
is he is underperforming right now, but give him some time. Give him some time.
These are growing pains, I guess, right? Because the crazy part is, think about it like this: with Jason Tatum, right?
Mhm.
This dude has been to, I think, 4 or 5 conference finals, man.
Yeah, yep. How
Already at
many?
25 years old,
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy. Like, what is it? Like 7 years in the league? Like it's insane.
Mm,
It's insane. So yeah, like these guys are playing well. Their teams are really well structured too. Like there's
yes.
nothing, there's no super duper stars that are over. Well, I guess you can say maybe Jalen Brown's overpaid with that super max, but um, to me, all these
Oh,
guys are overpaid. But then again, it is what it is. Um, but no, the teams are gelling. Like they're in the conference finals for a reason. So it's exciting to see, man. I haven't been this excited for the playoffs in a while, so it's nice to see.
yeah, man. You're getting that fire back. You're getting that
Hmm.
fire back for playoff basketball. But you know what? Let me say something, man. We got to give you some props. We got to give you and the old heads some props. The older heads are hooping in this playoff, specifically this dude, man.
Yeah,
This guy, 37 years old, clutch threes
yeah,
to ice out Indiana. I'm like, what the hell? Al MF and Horford, 37-year-old man. He's holding you down, man. He's
yeah, man,
holding down the older heads, bro.
for sure, for sure. Now he's like he's at this point in his career. Like, would you consider him a role player? Probably, right? He's a third, maybe a
Yeah,
third option. But
yeah.
the fact that he's taken that on is phenomenal. You have Brown and Tatum, like just pick up what they're not doing. So I think that's what's
Absolutely.
helped him so far, and then it shows. Like he's there. He doesn't care about being a superstar because he's like you said, he's old now. So all that egoness is gone. He's just there to help his team, and he wants to get a ship. So and it's showing for sure.
This goes back to my theory again, man, saying that the Boston Celtics have to win it all, man. The Boston Celtics are completely destroying the Indiana Pacers. As you saw in last game,
Hmm.
you had a situation where the Pacers were up, I think, 5 or 6 points with about a minute 30 left, right?
Roughly, yeah.
Al Horford, clutch threes. Drew Holiday, clutch steals. Jason Tatum, layups. Jalen Brown, nice jumpers. They steal a win in Indiana.
Hmm.
And this dude, Halliburton, he's got hurt. He got hurt. At this point, man, do you think my thing is I think it's for them to lose. Do you think Boston has to win this year? Now keep in mind, fam, Boston, just keep this in mind. They've won one championship in 40 plus years. So let me tell you this. 2008 was their last championship. And before that, their last championship before that was before I was even born. In like 19 like 80
80 something.
87
Hmm.
or 86, something crazy like that, brother.
Yeah, the
Like
Lakers
think
Lakers
about
Celtics
that.
days. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. And like who was on the team as they won last time? KG. Right
Yes.
out, like they had a big three, plus some
Yes.
good role players. So the fact that they
Yeah.
didn't go back to back at least,
Mm.
that was disappointing in general. But yeah, for Boston, if Boston wins this year, then it couple the last couple of years of bad outings is may just go away, right? Get their
Absolutely.
record, get their championship. Be like, okay, these guys are legit. They're able to beat, because even if the Wolves do pull it off and win, or the
Mm.
Mavs, whoever they face off that Western Conference, if they can beat them, and I'm not saying sweep or nothing crazy like that, but if they can beat them, yeah, I'll give them the pass on the last couple of growing pain years for sure.
Yeah, man. I really think this is really their window. Because even last year, it was shocking how Miami beat them. Because, it's like Miami eighth seed. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then you go back 2 years ago, they lost to, I think, was it the Warriors in the finals?
Hmm.
Warriors basically whooped the behind.
Yeah.
A few years ago, the Bucks had, with Giannis and
To be
everybody.
honest, yeah.
Like they get so close all the time, and they find somehow some way to fold. And you know what? Paul Pierce and them, they could have had another ring if it wasn't for this dude.
Yep.
If it wasn't for
Exactly.
this dude in the purple and yellow, rest in peace, Kobe.
Yeah, rest in
By the
peace,
way,
Kobe.
y'all like the stream as you come in. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for spending the evening with us. You could be anywhere else, but you're here with us. Kobe Bean Bryant was the
Bryant.
reason that they didn't go on a run with Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, this dude. But in general, the Boston Celtics, like this era of the Celtics, they should have a ring.
Yeah, they 100%, 100%.
Right?
But like we said, Tatum being the leader, not showing up,
Mm,
it has affected them. So this year, it looks good that he's been playing well, showing them what he's capable of, that he should have been capable of the last couple of years. So yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, it is
Absolutely.
theirs to lose for sure, but in the finals they'll have a good matchup.
I think you know what, we didn't even give our prediction towards the game, man, because the game's happening right now. Again, I'm gonna use just my heart and my brain. My brain is telling me Mavs are gonna win this. My heart is saying that Minnesota is gonna win this game. How do you feel about game 3 of the Western Conference Finals? Mavs versus T Wolves. Who you think is gonna take this out, man? Or finish the game with a dub?
It has, well, I guess I want to say it has to be the Wolves. If they don't win
Mm,
today, just call it a wraps. And I know a lot of people will say that, but there's no way they're going to win four straight against the Mavs. The Mavs are too good of a team to make you know the Golden State error of being down 3-1 and losing those games in a row. But um, yeah, I'm hoping the Wolves win, and I want the Wolves to win, so I'm going to say Wolves.
yeah. Respect, respect. We're in alignment, fam. And
Mhm.
people get in the chat who you think is gonna win, who y'all got with this game. How do we feel about these players? My thing is, when I look at, we're gonna still keep on talking little bit about the Celtics some more, and we're gonna just really analyze the championship DNA, right?
Mhm.
What you need to be a champion. Um, it starts like we just talked about the superstar, Jason Tatum showing up, right?
Mhm.
Now, here's where it gets a little bit, interesting because there's another dude who's the highest paid player in the NBA currently in Jalen Brown.
Mhm.
And that's been the debate that's been kind of going on right now because let's say Tatum disappears, which he does that a lot,
Mhm.
especially in
Mhm.
playoff games.
Mhm.
This dude shows up specifically in game 2, where he put up a 40 piece versus Indiana. Where do you go on this debate of Jalen Brown versus Jason Tatum? Jalen Brown, I believe, is just a year older, and he was drafted a year
A
before
year before, yeah,
Tatum.
yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about it, brother?
I'm gonna compare it to the Scotty Michael dynamic
Mm,
of having Michael as the the megastar, and Scotty, I don't want to say shadowed, but he was shadowed by MJ. So I think
Yeah.
Jalen being paid more, but not being considered the number one option,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy for me that he hasn't tried to take over that spot. Um,
Mm,
but again, I don't know the relationship between them enough to make a call like that. But when MJ was struggling, who led the second team? It was Scotty. Scotty led the second
yes, it
team.
was.
He made sure that the team didn't fall behind or anything like that. And then when Michael was like, "Yo, coach, put me back in. I'm ready." Like it wasn't any. I guess at that time there was no hostility about that. Michael's still a
Yeah.
scoring machine. He was always a scoring machine, but he was just able to be kind of like aimed better than he was in the 80s, right? Because in the 80s, that's
Mhm.
when he put up, I think, what, the 37 points per game or something like that. It was crazy. But
Yeah, he
um,
was nuts in the 80s, yeah.
and that's all he did was score. Even in
Yes.
the three peats, yeah, he was a little bit better defensively because he was in a system that made him have to play as a team, right? And that's
Yes.
where he won his success. Um, but yeah, I'll compare it to that dynamic where you have two, because arguably, like I've said this before, Scotty was my favorite player growing up
Mm,
watching ball. He was he was leading the team in everything except scoring. So
yes.
so that's what it is. But I think Jalen can step up when Tatum's not there, and as he should. So it's somewhat nice to see that there's no real hostility there as of yet. Because if they win the ship and everybody praises Tatum and don't praise Brown, that might become a problem. Later on with a couple years down the road.
I think it's going to be interesting because not only is Jalen Brown the highest paid player in the league, but because Jason Tatum just got that first team All NBA,
Hmm.
I think they have some kind of thing in the contracts that there's a chance when Tatum goes to renegotiate, his contract is even going to be a bigger max
Bigger.
than Jalen Brown. So then you have that issue again coming
Yeah.
of money and then recognition, where now you're going to have a dynamic where, Jalen Brown now might not be the highest paid anymore, and he won't be the highest respected,
Yeah.
right? Meaning like the one who gets all the praise. So it's quite interesting. And the interesting part about it is Jalen Brown also didn't get any All NBA considerations.
Hmm.
And that's really important for, money in the future
Yeah.
and just overall respect by the peers and the media. Now I'm gonna do a little audible, a little something. I'm gonna add something to this. By the way, people, get in the chat. Let us know who you feel is better or bigger impact, Jalen Brown or Jason Tatum. But I want to play you a clip that I find interesting, and I want to get your thoughts on it. All right, brother?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Let's do it. So this
Brown,
is going to
it's
load up.
not so much that he's underrated. Brown, it's not so much that he's underrated. It's that he's just not liked because of his quote, I am better than you attitude. He knows it. It's the same reason he is not as marketable as he should be. That's what an NBA source just sent me. I don't know that to be Brown.
Let's run it back. By the way, fair use, fair use. This does not belong to me. This belongs to Disney, ESPN, First Take. Let's hear Stephen A. say that again. And this clip is that from an NBA source who just let Stephen A. know this.
Brown, it's not so much that he's underrated. It's that he's just not liked because of his quote, I am better than you attitude. He knows it. It's the same reason he is not as marketable as he should be. That's what an NBA source just sent me. I don't know that to be Brown.
All right. We're going to get that off the screen right quick.
Hmm.
So, what do you think, brother? What do you think of that NBA source saying that maybe Jalen Brown isn't as liked?
Well, that could be true, but I don't think it's due to his "I'm better than you" attitude. You don't make the league, or you don't make that much money without having that attitude. Whether you do that behind
Yeah.
closed doors or in the public eye, it is what it is. But every superstar has that attitude. I'm better than you, and that's where how they got to where they are. Um,
Mm,
but it's interesting that he says that he's not as marketable as Tatum. Maybe he's not. You
mm.
don't forget, NBA is entertainment, so it's
Yes,
different
it
now.
is.
It's money making. So that could be a very good possibility that they don't market him as much. He's not the face of the Celtics,
Yeah.
because Tatum is the face. Everybody knows Tatum. So he just seems more likable, more um, what's that word I'm trying to say? Relatable, I guess you can say. But
Yeah.
um, that there is some probably some truth behind that. But marketing wise, at least, maybe not likable. But yeah, that was interesting. Huh?
Yeah. And for me, I saw it earlier today and I was like, okay, maybe I should mention it. Because like you even said, if you look at the dynamic of Scotty and MJ was clearly more marketed,
Mm-hmm.
more, more the face of the league type of thing.
100%.
But
Yeah.
like you said, Scotty was a huge part of that. And the machine of the Chicago Bulls, because Jordan was getting smacked by Isaiah Thomas, smacked by Larry Bird,
Mm-hmm.
smacked by the Lakers completely until Scottie Pippen joined them. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to the Celtics after this season, man.
Yeah. No,
Do
it
you
is. It
think
is.
do you think they're gonna win or no? Like what's your gut feeling, brother? As a real Hooper basketball fan.
I'm gonna say no. I don't think they will win, and
Ooh,
just
okay.
just because I want to say track record, but I don't. I feel like that's a little bit of a cop out, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if they're gonna gel enough. Maybe that animosity may show up in the finals, where because the finals is a different beast, right? The marketing that goes on
Yes.
behind that, all that stuff. So maybe Brown may get a little resentment or resentful, sorry, of Tatum and seeing his face everywhere. But
Mm,
at the same time, he has all the money, right? He's getting paid more, so maybe he's okay
yeah.
with being in the shadows for now until next year, like you said, where Tatum might be able to negotiate and get more money, and then that'll be a bigger issue. But no, I think whoever wins the West um, will take it this year, which
Mm.
it's an unfortunate thing to say because I like Boston, but I don't know. I don't know. It's hard.
Man, people get in the chat. Let us know what you think. What you think? Because I'm being honest with you. Whoever makes it out of the West, they're a real warrior, man. Because the Eastern Conference and the West, they're not the same. Not the same,
No.
brother. Not the same at all. Different beast. And by the way, just to give everybody an update of the score right now, 33-43. The Mavs are increasing their lead. They're making shots, and it seems like the T Wolves are breaking shots. You got Cat with 1 point, Connolly with five, Ant with nine, so he's at least starting out strong. Kyle Anderson with two. They got Naz Reid, I think, starting. He has six right now. Mavs seems pretty balanced as well. You have Kyrie with eight. Luca, I'm not too sure where Luca is. Maybe he's on the bench right now, but you have Kyrie at least leading it, Derek Lively in these things. But I wanted to speak on something that I want to get your opinion on. And it's very, very interesting and it's relevant basketball news. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
In terms of what's going to happen in the future of the league. Okay. So LeBron could opt out of free agency. Agent Rich Paul's comment hints to TNT. So I'm not going to read the full article, right? But there is this TNT based video where Rich Paul talks about the fact that there's a chance that LeBron is a free agent, so we're gonna play it.
And look, LeBron's a free agent. You have to decide, and I got to focus on his business, and he should be focused on his business, and let the Lakers hire whoever they want to hire. And he's always showed up and played for whatever coach is there, you know. But yeah, I hear you, Bomani, and again, I'm not, you know, there's no need to try to drive a specific narrative or try to dodge anything. It is what it is. I think he's earned the right to have input if he wanted that, obviously, but it's just not the case.
Wow. Hold on, but Bomani's going to come. Hold on, real quick. You said something, Rich. You said LeBron's a free agent, so I take it LeBron's going to decline that player option.
Chris, you know I'll do my best.
We're gonna pause it right there. We're gonna stop. I think that's all the information we need,
Mhm,
really.
mhm.
You know what I mean? But what do you think? We've had this conversation a lot. LBJ, the king, the greatest player who's ever dribbled the basketball. I know I'm gonna trigger you with that. I know I'm gonna trigger you. The best player ever of all time. We need Shadow to pull up and get in the chat. Back me up. But what are your thoughts of Rich Paul, super agent, LeBron's bestie, saying that there's a chance that he's living in LA, or at least that he's thinking about it with declining the player option and being a full free agent? What do you think about that, brother?
You know what? I'll be honest. I don't follow it too closely. Like all I know is that he moved there to LA. Obviously, his kids go to school. Like Bryce is hooping in high school right now. So
Yes, sir.
is he gonna move him again just so that he can go play somewhere else? Like I don't know. I don't really know. But then where is he gonna go after this season? You know, the
Yeah.
whole controversy with the coaches and his behavior sometimes. Like I understand. You know, some people may think he's the goat, but like who wants him now? He's at the end of his career. Is he gonna
Yeah.
go to a brand new team? Right? Like say it just happens that Dallas picks him up for whatever
Yeah.
for whatever reason. Is he gonna
It
finish
could,
his
it's
career in
possible. It's
right? Is he gonna
possible.
finish his career in Dallas? Like you got to be honest. Right now he's looking at okay, what's my legacy? Where I'm gonna finish my career? Does he go back to Cleveland and play the last couple of seasons in Cleveland? Right? But it's not gonna win him a ship or anything like that. But it's you're
No.
looking at where he wants to comfortably retire and kind of go from there. But again, he has probably 2 or 3 more seasons in him, and he wants to
Absolutely.
play with Bronny. So it's hard, but to me, I don't know. I just his attitude these last couple of years have really turned me off of him. But
Oh,
he's still putting up numbers. I'm not going to deny that he's
yeah.
still pulling up numbers. So some team will benefit with him. It's just
Mm.
who and is it the right fit for him because he's not going to go somewhere. I don't know, Grizzlies, for instance, right? He's not going to go
Yeah.
there and play. It has to be the right circumstances for him to move, or is this
No.
just another? Hey, I'm not in the spotlight right now. I need to be heard because I'm the king,
Oh.
right? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, the sneak this. I see you sneak this. But you know what? You know what? I will say this. I will say this. You are valid in one thing too. LeBron does like the spotlight.
Mhm,
He does like attention, and he does play with the media, including obviously Rich Paul, who's his agent, his homie. They do like playing with the media. They do like manipulating narratives. Could this be some kind of negotiating tactic or some kind of play that he's doing in the background to play with the Lakers organization?
mhm,
Yes, I can see that. I can see him saying, "Yeah, I'm coming back," but then let's say to the media that I might not, that I'm a free agent.
mhm.
I could see this maybe as a way for him to get Bronny to come to the
To
Lakers,
come to the Lakers,
right?
yeah, yeah, very
Like a
very
long
true.
term play. Or option three, I can see him doing something like this. Remember this?
Hmm. Played all 82 games at the age of 40.
Yup,
Hmm.
yup. You're looking at when Jordan wanted to own an NBA team,
Hmm.
instead of staying in the front office, he said, "F it, I'm gonna come on the court." So I think LeBron, who's talked about owning an NBA team, he might try to pull something like
Something.
this.
Yeah.
And obviously he idolizes Jordan. I can see a situation where, Bron says, F it, I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna have a wink wink deal with some kind of franchise
Hmm.
that let me play for X amount of time, let me draft my son, let me be basically an owner player
Player. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and make a deal. What do you think? That's my theory, man.
You know what? Like,
I'm going full conspiracy mode,
yeah.
bro.
No, but it's not that far fetched of a conspiracy because it's like like I said, he only has a few more years. So would that be a phenomenal like ending? It
Mm,
might. It may he might transition. He already owns a bit of the Liverpool um,
yeah.
football team, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so he knows a little bit about ownership. So would that translate to an NBA team? It probably wouldn't be a very successful franchise, but at least he'd be a good draw for those last couple of years. People are going to pay to watch him play or watch him sit on the bench when he takes his load management days. But either
Yeah.
way, people are gonna show up and watch him. So that's a negotiation for sure of him getting a better price of the ownership or getting a bigger pie of the ownership. 100%. I wouldn't put it past them. That's not far fetched conspiracy yet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them.
What made me really think about that was, remember when the Cavs were playing the Cavs versus Boston last round.
Hmm.
LeBron went to a Cavs game out
Yeah,
of nowhere.
yeah,
And I'm like,
uh,
what is he doing in Cleveland of all places? Like, well, of course he's from there,
yeah.
but he's randomly watching like game two of Boston versus
The Cavs,
like
like
what?
it was a little weird, but for me, I
Yeah.
just took it as like, oh, he wants to be in the spotlight since he's out of the playoffs. So
I see. You couldn't
but
help yourself. I knew you couldn't help yourself. You couldn't keep it objective.
no,
I knew
not
it,
when it
man.
comes to LeBron. I can't. On certain things, yes, but not on the. I'm not on the spotlight thing. Yeah.
Hey man, I better see the LeBron fans in the comments after this on the replay or else in
Oh
the
yeah.
chat. I will say this, man. Yeah, when LeBron came back, that theory came in my head because I'm like, okay, LeBron James, you've done everything. You're killing. You're in LA. You live in LA, man.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's where your family's settled. You've been there for 6 years. There's no legitimate reason for you to go to Cleveland to watch a random playoff game versus Boston, who's a team that's clearly better than Cleveland, team
Mhm.
that's going to win. So for me, I started to have the theory that maybe he's wanting to go back to Cleveland. Maybe he wants to do some ownership. Maybe he wants to recruit Donovan Mitchell because Donovan Mitchell is there in Cleveland and Donovan Mitchell is not having a good time.
Mhm.
Obviously, he was injured to finish off the series. And LeBron, we all know his history in Cleveland. We know what he did there. So it really, really added up to my head. And then I made the connections with Jordan. And Jordan's last few years as a player, he didn't win anything really. He didn't do much, but he was there for business. He was there to cement his legacy and maybe make a way for the future league.
Mhm.
So I thought I'd made those calculations in my head, and I'm like, okay, that's maybe why LeBron went there.
Yeah.
We never
Well,
know,
look at
you
it.
know.
Like another question I gotta ask, and this is
Mm.
no shots towards LeBron or anything like that, but in all seriousness, what team is gonna retire his jersey? Is it gonna be
Oh,
Cleveland?
okay.
Is it gonna be Miami? I don't think the Lakers will retire his jersey. Not next to Kobe and Paul's. Like Laker Nation is
Oh,
different. It's different. They've never accepted him,
yeah.
and I think these last couple of years have been a little bit more of a testament to that. But I don't think the
Mhm.
Lakers will retire his jersey. Maybe the front office may want to, but I don't see where or who like is gonna be the team to retire. So maybe him going to Cleveland might be a little bit like, oh, let me come back. It may tie into the ownership part of it, where he's like, let me
Yeah.
come back, put some fans in the seats, retire my jersey, I'm good, and then I become an owner. So yeah, it's crazy.
You're absolutely right about that because you're right. The Lakers never embraced him,
Mm-mm.
never did, and even with the bubble championship, they didn't even have a parade, by the way, because it was COVID, right?
Yeah,
So it's
mm,
not like he could have been celebrated in LA for bringing them a championship, their first championship since Kobe passed.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's huge. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Maybe they could have celebrated the play-in, but it was the play-in. Nobody
Yeah,
cared.
no, no, and it was, I don't know, it was weird. Of course, it was COVID, but it's, I don't know. I've never felt like the fans to be true LeBron fans. Like, yes, they're happy he's on the team. Yes, he's brought
Mm,
them some success. But when you look at his record there, besides the bubble, I don't even want to start talking about the in-season tournament nonsense. But like
Facts.
he hasn't got a very good resume when it comes to being a Laker. You know,
No, not
in
at all.
order for them to embrace him, Kobe never left. Yeah, were there rumors that he wanted out? Of course, but he stayed 20 years, played for them,
Yo,
bought them 5 rings. You know, three of them obviously with Shaq, but he proved he was a Laker through and through. So I don't think the Lakers will retire LeBron's, especially LeBron's number six. Just it wouldn't make sense.
no, not at all. And the thing about Kobe is that even when there were rumors of him, leaving the Lakers or the Lakers wanting him gone, he still stayed. He stayed when they were very bad.
Hmm.
Very, very bad. They had some slumps. They had some years that were very, very terrible. But homie stayed in. And that's for me, I'm a LeBron fan. Everybody knows this. Y'all already know what I'm about. But that move to Miami, um, as much as I'm a Miami Heat fan too, in terms of franchises, that move to Miami is always going to haunt him forever because he left a team that he had already taken to the finals, and there were a few moves or a few players away from making another title run. But then
100%.
he went to Miami, and people hated him ever since. And you could argue that he started this era of players, superstars, leaving the team they were drafted in. But Kobe's almost the exact opposite. Kobe stayed, with the team that drafted him and through ups and downs, through times when Lakers hated him, Laker
Yeah,
Nation hated him,
hated him. Yeah,
but he became a legend because of that. You
yeah,
know what I mean? I don't think
100%.
the Lakers will retire LeBron's jersey. I don't think so either. No,
Mm,
no.
no. So maybe going to that game was just a little heads up, being like, hey, maybe I want to come back just to end my career
Mm,
here or whatever. But like I said, he's like, and this is no shot towards him, but I don't think he's in a position to win another championship unless he does the Kevin Durant move and going to an already like the Mavs or the Celtics, where he's just a small piece of the puzzle that's overall gonna win. But I don't think his ego will let him do that. Um, so,
mm.
but that's just me. I'm gonna get cooked in the comments for being a LeBron hater, but it's all good. They just call me Ruby Gobert. So
I will say this. You are Rudy. You're Rudy Gobert this episode, man. You getting cooked, man. You
I'm
getting
gonna get
fried up.
cooked. Yeah,
But I
it's all
will
good.
say this. Back to your main point you were saying. These three, I think their era of winning a chip is over, man.
Mm,
The West is too good. The young players are too elite, and the competition has risen
yeah,
to such a high level that these guys, these three, have to basically, I'm not saying come off a bench, but literally diminish their roles night
yeah,
and day type thing. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, if LeBron went to the Mavs, he can't be the prime ball handler. That's Luca.
yeah,
If he
yeah,
went to Minnesota, LeBron can't be the main guy. That's Ant.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's say, you know who I think ironically might win a ring out of these three first. I think it might be KD because
KD,
KD's style is just catch and shoot.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And KD has a very small ego. Well, not a huge ego, but I think KD can just. I can even see him being a coming off the bench guy. He's not there yet, but he can do that.
yeah.
But LeBron, since he's been dominating since he started, I don't think I can't see him doing that role, man.
No,
I would see LeBron retiring before, coming
yeah,
off the bench.
100%.
Personally, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? What are your
no,
thoughts, bro?
totally agree with that. It's nothing to do with ego. It's just like you said, he has been a force since he's got into the league. So
Yeah,
he's not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'll be the six man. I'll win a six-man award. That's not gonna do nothing for him, except just
no.
make everybody else be like, oh, you're not even in the GOAT conversation anymore because of that. And it just adds
Oh,
another thing. No, 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 no,
Hefe
no,
can't
no.
wait for that. You can't wait for that day, man.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he will put himself in that position, right, to give
Okay.
people something, some more ammo in order for them to use it. But Curry, I don't know. Curry's he's been too special, but I think he's the same as LeBron. Like, he won't do it. He won't go to the six man. He won't come
Yeah,
off the bench. He just no. He was gonna shoot till he can't shoot no more. So yeah.
true. True. You know what? We'll see what happens. We really, really appreciate y'all for coming in and tuning in.
Mhm.
The chat wasn't as active as we wanted today, but that's okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? We did catch them during a game, so maybe they're all catching the game.
They're
That's okay.
focusing. They're focusing. By 10.
We
Oh, come
will
on.
I know, man. I know it's getting uglier. It's
Yeah.
getting uglier. The the T Wolves are getting cooked, man. I'm not watched the game, but at least from the box score, it's telling me they're
Mhm.
getting cooked.
Can you can you
Hefe,
have
what do
do you
you
have
think we do a
access?
pregame show next Sunday?
Yeah, next Sunday works. Yeah, I was just in Montreal today,
Pardon me?
so no, I was like next Sunday pregame it works.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because I was in Montreal today, so I was a little
Lit.
bit delayed, but um, yeah,
Mhm.
we're good for next Sunday pregame.
Perfect, perfect. Let's do a pregame next time. Maybe we can catch the audience around that time.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if
yeah.
you're coming in watching the replay, Ant just got 2 free throws. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm.
If you're watching the replay right now, we predicted T Wolves will win. Maybe we look like geniuses after this, or maybe we look stupid. That's okay though. We
Either way, it's
appreciate
okay.
each and every one of y'all. Yeah. Appreciate
Yeah,
each and every one of y'all for tuning in, man. It's been Big Stopper. It's been Hefe. It's Unk and Phew
if you,
Hoops Edition. Enjoy the game as we catch y'all next week. Same time, same place. We out.
all right, please.
Doses.